This is Emma Palova reporting from downtown Lowell from the production offices. We are getting ready to screen Genesis Code, and I will be talking shortly to Jerry Vanstra, one of the producers. I'm also getting used to this podcasting business that was dropped on me at 4 p.m. this afternoon.
So we set this up as an editorial suite, and the equipment that we're using is the equipment that the editors use. They go literally, well, not frame by frame, but they go about a quarter of a second by a quarter of a second by a quarter of a second, making little tiny adjustments to it. I don't know how they don't go blind doing that. It's pretty amazing to watch them do it. Yeah, let's hit play, and I'll keep an eye out for a couple of the other folks who are coming in. We filmed for several days at the museum, so there's a lengthy section of science that's in this that is a pretty integral part of it. Yeah. Rich is the hockey coach. Rich is the UFC world champion, middleweight champion, I believe the hockey coach is, and he's pretty much tough as nails. You probably recognize Fred Thompson and Ernest Borgnine. Louise Fletcher is Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but she's a little bit older now. Yeah, so at the end of the film, we do address the situation. You didn't get to see much of her. The mom is played by Susan Blakely, who has been in a whole bunch of films. And, did any of you recognize the professor that I get in that little argument with? That's Catherine Hicks. She played the lead role in the Chucky, the little scary doll that kills people. It scares the daylights out of me, little Chucky. She was in that, so, and a wonderful actress. She actually really liked being able to play this nasty, horrible professor. There are two meetings that happen with Catherine. One is the one that you see, but the one that happens before is where she meets with my daughter and tells her, you have to decide, you have to drop your faith. You can't be serious about science. And we've talked to them about the possibility of doing a premiere. We'll do a fairly substantial premiere, and we're looking at probably December 18th for that. And the picture is locked, which means all of the editing, all of the choosing of scenes is done. And that means that now we start adding in. So like in the scene with me and Catherine Hicks, you could clearly see the green screen in the window. Well, the movie goes out to LA, they clean up the sound. The sound that you were hearing is straight through the camera. So the sound is unedited. And they do a lot of enhancement, what's called sound sweetening. And then they do another thing called color sweetening, which is in certain scenes they'll take certain colors and sort of bring them out, and other colors they kind of mute and push back a little bit to make the film pretty in their terms. So that's kind of where we are, and but we wanted to give folks who have been a part of this for a long time an opportunity to at least see and get a sense of what we've done to date. I'm not acting. You know, Catherine Hicks has to become a different person, because she's a very sweet person, but she has to become this mean, nasty person. But in our next project, American Jihad, that we were talking about before, looks like I'm going to be in that one too. And our director is a guy named C. Thomas Howell. So he actually called me today, Lee, and offered me a part in another movie. I just told him in American Jihad, this time I had to carry a Bible, next time I want to be able to carry an AK-47 or something. So most of these scenes it's shot, it's between 90 and 100 degrees, because we shot in August. And you know, when you film, you have to shut off all the air conditioning and all the fans, because you can't have that background noise. And they're just desperately trying to keep makeup on, and it's abysmally hot and stuffy in the rooms. And then about 2.5 weeks we shot from 5 p.m. till about 6 a.m. So, you know, now it's 4 in the morning. My body doesn't adjust well to that. You're trying to remember your lines and look enthusiastic, and so it's harder than it looks. So I have a new appreciation for these folks.
Okay, this is Jerry Vanstra. We're done screening the movie Genesis Code, And now we're going to talk about it, now that the movie is done. So how do you feel about it, now that you actually saw it and
Well, we've been-
our little group saw it?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
We've been screening it all over the place. We've screened it in Illinois, in Indiana, and in Michigan. And sort of at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how I feel about it. What matters
Okay.
is how the audience reacts to it. That's the main interesting thing for us is watching people's reaction.
So what kind of reactions have you seen so far?
Yeah, everybody that we've shown it to has liked it, appreciated it, finds it interesting.
And what about the local talent that you used here? How did that work out? You used a lot of local people,
Yeah,
like
we
Dave
used a lot of
Thompson.
extras, and we used a lot of Lowell area restaurants, and Larkins was great.